Right now, we're getting right into the news at 5, and we start with that protest calling for a ceasefire, which descended into violence. Tonight, there are concerns about what led to U.S. Capitol Police and a group of protesters clashing outside the DNC headquarters in Southeast. At least 200 people were involved last night. We were reporting on this as breaking news at 11 p.m. Good evening. I'm Leslie Foster.
And I'm Lorenzo Hall. So our Adelia Gonzalez is live outside of the DNC this evening with new reactions to the video. It seems everybody is talking about tonight. And Dee, what's it like out there at this moment?
A pretty quiet day here on Capitol Hill. I would say business as usual here outside the DNC, but there is one thing that's different. If you want to take a look behind me, you can see the gates that are outside the entrance. Normally, those are not there, clearly put there in preparation for anything that would potentially happen a little later today. However, we don't have any word that there will be another demonstration. I have reached out to the group that were demonstrating last night. Earlier today, though, there was one little confrontation that occurred when a demonstrator returned to the DNC, confronted a congressman who described the protesters, get this, as pro-Hamas terrorists. That demonstrator taking deep offense to that comment, saying that many here last night were American Jews with family in Israel. The group goes by the name If Not Now. They say they had hoped to talk to Congress members here last night, but instead were met by Capitol Police, who they say were tackling them and using pepper spray on protesters. Peaceful protesters, they say. Capitol Police, it's a different story. They tell us the protesters grew violent, hurt 6 of their officers. In fact, a 24-year-old man from New York was arrested for assaulting a Capitol Police officer.
They need to take our democracy seriously. We are a country that is watched all around the world, and we are going through an upheaval. And you got to think about, what do the other countries think about this country now? It's really sad.
Okay, so our cameras are here and we captured this confrontation, a very passionate debate between a demonstrator who was here last night. She returned to the DNC headquarters, got into a debate on the street with California Congressman Brad Sherman. She confronted him about the tweets where he described the protesters as pro-Hamas terrorists. I'll have much more on that passionate debate between the congressman and the demonstrator, and more reaction from folks who were watching this all unfold and really had memories of January 6th all over again. Obviously, though, we know that only 6 officers were hurt. Some protesters themselves were reporting that they were slightly injured. But again, today, a peaceful day here outside the DNC with some police just standing by on standby. Back to you in the studio.
All right, Delia, thank you. You know, it may be quiet outside of the DNC right now, but members of that same group that clashed with Capitol Police slowed the commute in Boston this morning. They blocked traffic on the Boston University Bridge, carrying a banner that said, "Jews say ceasefire now." The group is calling on Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren to back an immediate ceasefire.
The American Jewish community wants a ceasefire for the safety of Palestinians and Israelis alike. We want safety for everybody in the region, and we know that, bombing Gaza is not making anybody safer.
Meantime, pro-Palestinian protesters calling for a ceasefire also tied up traffic in the Bay Area this morning. A large group of protesters blocked the westbound lanes of the Bay Bridge that feeds traffic into San Francisco for hours. Some of those demonstrators actually chained themselves together on the roadway. Authorities say at least 50 people were arrested and several vehicles were used to block traffic. Those were towed. The Arab Resource and Organizing Center says the action was to highlight the genocide in Gaza.